Loneliness is seen as a factor for people to reach out and make friends with the hopes that friendship could form into a long running relationship. However, sometimes a bad apple will get picked and added to the basket of good apples. In the 1980s, Florida was the target for one particular heinous individual. My name is Jeff, aka GCurse. Welcome to another installment of Black Site Files from Unsolved Mysteries. In this installment, we will be hearing about the case of Arthur Frankford. I was about to say Anthony Frankford. No, it's Arthur Frankford. This case first aired on the January 11th, 1988 episode of Unsolved Mysteries. It takes a coward to prey upon the vulnerable. Thankfully, Arthur Frankford was apprehended. The sad truth is that criminals like Arthur Frankford are very common. It's the duty of the law abiding individuals to protect those who are susceptible to being taken advantage of. Okay, time for the case information. The person's name in question was Arthur Frankford. This was actually revealed to be a fake name, but at the time of airing, he was known as Arthur Frankford. His full legitimate birth name is Harry Fielding Donaldson. He went by the aliases of James Wallace Ferguson, Andre E. Kearns, and of course Arthur Fielding Frankford. His date of birth was 1927. However, the exact date is unknown. His age, as of the televised airing of Unsolved Mysteries, was approximately 62 years old. His age, as of recording this installment of Black Site Files from Unsolved Mysteries, he would have been 98 years old approximately. The location was Florida. The case was classified as fraud. His age when he was missing or obtained his wanted status was approximately 61 years of age. His age when he died was July 24th, 1998. Is this case available on YouTube? Yes, you can find this case in season 1, episode 13. The original televised episode air date of this episode of Unsolved Mysteries was January 11th, 1989. Was this case solved? Yes, Arthur Frankford was apprehended in 1989, shortly after the broadcast. Okay, so I actually have the pre-case promo. Now, we're not, just so everybody knows, that I am not watching the actual case. This is where I will go to the Unsolved Mysteries wiki and read the case, but I have the case promo here just to give everybody an idea what it is that they can find on YouTube. So let me put on my headphones. Okay, so let's do this. So 3, 2, 1.
In Florida, a 77-year-old Don Juan first steals the hearts of his victims.
I like how they actually said that he was a Don Juan. That's he actually obtained the moniker of the senior citizen Don Juan.
And then the cash and jewelry.
Okay, so that was that. Yeah, so basically it's your this is your kind of your prototypical fraud case that aired early in the first, in the first season of Unsolved Mystery, or the earlier seasons of Unsolved Mysteries. Uh, I honestly think that when it comes to fraud or to these kind of cases, they're more under the radar of Unsolved Mysteries. I'm not saying that it doesn't deserve to be, known at all. It's just Unsolved Mysteries was more known for like the supernatural and UFOs and that sort of stuff. So when we get fraud cases, I think that these cases are a little bit less remembered, like because of the fact that they are going up against stuff like, say, not Tatum House, but oh god, I can't recall that name of the house. There was a haunting case where we're about the bunk bed. I can't recall what the name of that case is right now, but there was a case of the bunk bed. Or if you're a UFO fan, there was like the case from Roswell or the Allagash abductions. When you kind of compare this kind of case, a fraud case to those, you're going to remember those other cases. But like I said, just because this case isn't as well remembered as the other cases, it doesn't mean that it shouldn't be televised. After these upcoming commercials, I will be back with the Unsolved Mysteries Wiki case reading of Arthur Frankford. Stay tuned, and I'll be right back.
Magnavox is handing out money during the big Magnavox annual sale. Come in now for a great deal on these Magnavox touch-tune color TVs and get a rebate right on the spot. Save on decorator stereos, save on Magnavox component systems, and get a rebate right on the spot. And save even more on remote control special bonus offer. The most exciting Magnavox annual sale ever, because Magnavox is handing out money.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If you are new to this series, basically this is where I go to the Unsolved Mysteries Wiki and I read to everybody the case of Arthur Frankford, and we see if there's been any more updates, or if there were, or what ended up happening to the people that were in this case. So, hold on one second. Okay, so let's pull it up. Season 1, episode 13, Arthur Frankford. There we go. Okay, so his name, or the person in question's name was Arthur Frankford. Real name was Arthur Fielding Frankford. It's actually not his name, but I really should edit this because this is technically an alias, but the administrators for this Wikipedia page do not always give the most reliable information. Aliases: James Wallace Ferguson, Andrew E. Kearns, and of course Arthur Frankford. This criminal was a quadruple fucktard. He was a goddamn idiot. This guy was wanted for theft, fraud, burglary, and forgery. Wow, it's rare you find a criminal who does 4 things. Wow, this guy, congratulations, Arthur. You are a grade A idiot. This shining example of society was missing since July 29th, 1988. Okay, details. On July 29, 1988, a brazen daylight robbery took place in a suburb of Palm Beach, Florida. The thief had a key to the house. He was highly selective and seemed to know what he wanted. Not one fingerprint was left behind. It was a quintessential inside job. At the door, the thief paused long enough to leave a note for his victim. He signed it L. Okay, let's scroll up just enough. There. The active social life in the warm, healthy climate of Florida makes it a welcome new home for retiring senior citizens. Many of them are widows and divorcees who often hope to remarry, and in fact, love does bloom frequently in the warm Florida sunshine. Now, I remember back in the 80s, I would watch like the news with my mom, like the nightly news with Tom Brokaw. And I think I remember them talking about like how Florida was seen as like the predominant go-to location for people who are retiring. I'm wondering if, after nearly 40 years, if Florida is still seen as like the retirement capital of the United States, or is it a new location now, Actually, let's do a quick research or a quick lookup, to-do list basically. I have a Word document here where I'm going to type down things I would like to research after the reading is done, So most let's see here. Destination for retirees. in the United States. There we go. And that way I can actually remember what I would like to look up, because there are times that I will want to look up something in a case and I will actually forget to do it, Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. But sometimes these, oh my God, these widows and divorcees become easy marks for a particularly sleazy type of con man. A con man who moves in on their emotions and makes off with their cash. On May 20th, 1988, a 61-year-old widow named Mrs. K went to a Friday night's single dance at St. Mary's Church in West Palm Beach. Okay. Now, that's something else I want to see. Let's see here. Actually, hold on. I'm curious if St. Mary's Church is still, still operating. St. Mary's Church in West Palm Beach. Okay, there we go. Basically, I'm kind of curious if they're still operating, because there's been times that I will look up something like in the Lee Selwyn case, back in case number 1 of this episode of Unsolved Mysteries. I looked up some of the clubs that Lee operated at, and I couldn't find anything. I could not find anything. All the clubs sadly closed down. Okay. Eligible men were not plentiful at these dances, so when a good-looking man named Arthur Frankford approached her and asked to dance, she was flattered. When she first saw him sitting up against the wall, she thought he was too old. And this is one of the things that kind of upset me when I watched this case. Hold on, what happens if I click this hide menu? Hide menu always. Yes, hide menu always. What? Yes, there. Thank you. This is the one thing that really just pissed me off when I watched this case. Nobody should be a victim of a criminal. However, by her saying this, she thought that he was too old, it makes her look kind of petty, in my opinion. Here you have an older lady, a senior citizen, basically, going to a dance at a church that are basically, that the clientele are basically going to be senior citizens. She goes there, she finds a guy, and she initially thought that he was too old. Well, I'm sorry, Mrs. K. What were you expecting? Were you expecting like Arnold Schwarzenegger from his 1980s prime to be there to sweep you off your feet? Fuck no. This is a dance for retirees. And that just pissed me the fuck off when I watched this. It's like, really? Really? I'm not saying she deserved to be a victim. No, she did not. But it makes her look incredibly vain and egotistical to go to a dance that is catering to senior citizens, and she's like, oh no, he's too old, I'm not going to, no way. If you wanted somebody, what she wanted was a sugar daddy. Let's fucking be honest. Let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen. She went to this dance with the hopes of finding a sugar daddy. Okay. But yeah, that just upset me. I'm not sure what it is, but that just fucking upsets me. It's like, really? These people are, also looking, they're also looking to find a friend, maybe somebody to have a relationship with. And the first thing you do when you see somebody is you criticize their age? Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, after he asked her to dance, she realized he was not as old as she thought. Oh, so now she was just going based off of what the guy looked like. That makes her even look worse. That makes her look even worse. The two danced every dance that evening at the church. It was the beginning of a 2-month whirlwind romance. I would even progress a friendship into romance territory at 2 months. I would have fucking waited like half a year at least. You got to build up a friendship. First you have that initial interaction, then you start to hang out, you start to talk, you learn what like the hobbies are and everything. You just to go like way into romance after like 2 months. That's not a good thing, you know. You gotta slowly move into these sort of things. Mrs. K says that from the day she met Frankford until the time he left, she was never suspicious of any movements he made. She never felt the need to question his character or who he was. She never had any indication that he was a liar or thief. Well, the thing is, it's because like literally this was apparently that they started getting close 2 months in. That's not enough time to really gauge a person. You need to have some mileage under that belt before you can start to gauge if a person is a good person or not. Let's see here. She thought he was well spoken and charming. He told her he was a geologist. He said he worked for the government, primarily in Alaska, and had just uh, had, had and had just retired after 21 years of service. He told her he owned a house and several other rental properties in nearby towns and lived off that income in addition to his retirement pay. One day he took her to a property he claimed to own. However, he told her they could not go inside because the tenants were there. See, right there, I would be really kind of cautious. It's like, anybody could do that. I could literally take a woman that I just met and goes, hey, this nice apartment complex that we're standing at right now, I own that. But we can't go in and of course you can't really go in because there are tenants there. But it's like an easy thing to kind of lie to somebody about. I could literally stand in front of a $250,000 Lamborghini El Diablo, take my camera, and do a selfie, some presumptuous selfie with like a duck face. Here, let me take a picture. Just take a picture, just if I feel like posting it. Just let me see here. Come on. Hold on 1 second. Where the fuck is it? I've never really changed the damn camera. Oh, there it goes. Okay, here, hold on. Here's my pompous duck face picture. There. Okay. So like literally you could literally do that to anybody. I could take that, like I said, take that picture and it's like, here's my car. Here's a picture in front of me. Like you gotta be careful is what I'm trying to say. You gotta be careful. Okay, so see here. On the night of June 29th, Frankfurt came to Mrs. K's home and told her that instead of renting another place for himself, he thought it would be better if he lived with her. Here, let's. Okay, so this was June 29th. When the fuck was this? A little over 1 month they met initially on May 20th, 1988. A little over 1 month. And this guy is already pushing her to live with her. Oh god. Mrs. K, she was a prime target. He knew that she was probably really lonely and he was just, oh god, he went into overdrive, like even if I had a girlfriend and she's like, Jeff, can I move in? Or I had a real close friend that was on the verge of becoming a girlfriend. Can I move? I'm like, no, it's only been like 1 month. Like I'm not trying to sound mean, but you cannot really know somebody after 1 month. A year, maybe, but just 1 month. Oh, that's going way too fast. Way too fast. Okay, she says that once he moved in, things were great. She would come home from work and he would have her dinner ready. He would do the grocery shopping. He would clean the house. He befriended her children and grandchildren. She says there was no reason for her to have anticipated what he did. One day after Frankford came home, one day Frankford came home with money. It was wrapped in a plastic grocery bag. He told Miss K that he had sold his other house and rented it out. Wait. He sold his other house and rented it out with the option to buy. Okay, I don't understand that at all. I'm not into real estate, so I can't really say I'm totally understanding what he's saying, you know. Here, let's scroll up. He asked her if she would put the money away for safekeeping. She was worried about it. She was worried about keeping it because it was a lot of money. She offered to give him the combination to her safe. It was his money, but he refused. See, the reason that he refused is he's trying to continue to set up the con for her, basically. He's like, oh no, you don't need to give me the money. I trust you, or the combination. You don't need to give me the combination. I trust you. It's his way of continuing to get her to lower her defenses, because if he's like, oh, you don't need to give me a combination, it's going to make her think, oh god, he really trusts me, like he trusts me enough to hold on to his money and everything. It's just psychological manipulation, basically. Hold on one second. Excuse me. Oh jeez. She agreed to put it in her safe. Eventually, he did allow her to give him the combination to it. And right there, that's when he felt like he was ready to basically to rob her, basically. By the end of July, Mrs. K and Frankford had lived together for 1 month and had settled into a comfortable domestic routine. One night after she came home from work, they started to play gin. During the course of the game, he stopped what he was doing and said to her, "Do you really love me?" My response, if a woman, after 1 month of living together, and keep in mind, this is only at least like 2 months after initially meeting her. She goes, "Do you really love me?" I'd be like, "No, I barely fucking know you." But that's just me. That's just me. I'd be like, "No, I barely know you. We need a few more months. You're asking me if I fucking love you. I don't even know what your fucking middle name is. I need a little bit more time. She responded that she did very much. He then said, Guess that means I could get away with anything. Right there, that should have been a fucking red flag. That should have been a red flag for her. She should have been like, danger, 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 Will Robinson, danger. Like where the... And the whole argument could be that she was lonely and she didn't realize at the time the threat that had manifested in her home, At that time, she thought he was talking about the game because he had to win and liked to cheat at it. Let's see here. Come on. The day after the card game, Miss K arrived home to find the bed she shared with Frankfurt unmade. She thought this was strange because it was always made. Whoever was last up would always make it. However, it did not appear that out of the ordinary to her. When she walked into her closet to change her clothes, she discovered all the clothes from his side of the closet were missing. She then realized he had left. She was heartbroken. Okay, let's scroll up. On the hall table, Miss K found a note from Frankfurt. It read, "Sorry, thanks to possessive L." I find this to be like mind blown. It's like, wow, wow. You have a guy who literally within the span of at least 2 months, because the timetable is a little bit odd here, but around 2 months roughly, he was able to move himself into her house. Within that same amount of time, he gave her a shit ton of money and everything, and then she ended up giving him the combination to the safe after a while. And yet, he said that basically things were too possessive. Wow. Not only did this guy rob her. Now that's bad enough already. He robbed her. But then he goes on to make her feel like she was wrong. Like she was being too controlling. Really? Really? Oh my god, this guy is a fucking lowlife. Which was their code for love. I'm leaving you. Love you. What? What? I'm wondering now, it could just be me, but what if the L, now he told her, they had this thing that the L, which was a code for love. What if this was her way of, or his way of calling her a loser? Because it would make more sense to me if he left her, which he did, and he stole her things. You're not going to leave somebody and steal their shit and say, "I love you." To me, I could imagine this more like saying, "Sorry, things too possessive, loser." That's the way I can imagine this. Which was the code for love. Then she remembered giving him the combination to her safe, and that was when, the minute that she gave him the combination to her safe, that's when the clock started ticking down for the guy. He's like, okay, she gave me she gave me the safe combination. 3 months tops, I'm going to liquidate this lady and be the fuck out of here. Yeah. Let's see here. When she opened it, she discovered that. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Okay. When she opened it, she discovered that she had been robbed. Her most expensive jewelry, valued at $4,500, was gone. If it was me, no, like right now, like Jeff, aka GCurse 2025. If Mrs. K was here right now, and I learned that she was robbed $4,500, I would, I would be nice enough and actually just give her $4,500, on top of whatever she could get back, just as a way of saying, I'm sorry, here's some money, hopefully, this can help. Because I'm pretty sure he also she possibly had some money of her own in that safe. I don't think they actually said that she did, but you got to think that if there was money in that safe, that shit's gone also. So I would give her at least 4,500, just as a way of trying to, show some sympathy and compassion and be like, you know what, here's some money. Hopefully this can help you for the next couple months while things get fixed, Was gone. Also missing were several items that belonged to her late husband: his wedding ring, handgun, work ID card, and driver's license renewal form. I do not understand why. The wedding ring and handgun I could understand keeping, because those are actual, those are kind of physical. They have a lot of real meaning, like a wedding ring. That's a memory of a happier time. A handgun she probably kept for like self protection. I don't understand the logic of keeping a work ID card or driver's license renewal form. I don't even know what a work ID card. Maybe he worked like at like a factory or something, and maybe that's how he got into work. He like have to show the card. But if he's been dead for a while, why would you still need that card? I don't understand that. And then the driver's license renewal form. The guy passed away. It isn't like he can get, it isn't like he can drive anymore. Why would you keep that? Like, Mrs. K notified the authorities. She says it took a lot of courage to call them. She was not in a hurry to do it, and that right there, that was a bad thing for her to do. Granted, I understand her logic, but the longer the crime goes on oh un or the, what's the best word? Longer the crime goes unnoticed by the police, the longer it takes for them to do the police to do what they need to do. She did not want to say it out loud to herself that Frankford was who he was. She felt too embarrassed. Detective David Hoyt came up with the sordid background information of the senior citizen Don Juan. He discovered that Frankfurt was wanted for check forgery and burglary to a condominium. One of the aliases that he used was James Ferguson. Police also learned that Mrs. K was not Frankfurt's only victim. Mania Joyce was the president of a seniors Olympic center where Frankfurt worked for a short time. She remembers receiving telephone calls from 3 women who had been conned by him. So we have a total of at least 5 people that this piece of shit exploited. She says the woman took her to into their confidence, admitting that they had invited him to live with them. They were sexually involved with him, and it made them very vulnerable. According to them, he stole anything he could lay his hands on. When he was in their homes. Okay, let's scroll down. According to Detective Hoyt, Frankfurt preys on the emotions of women in their late 50s and early 60s. They are usually widows and divorcees with sizable fortunes. He often passes himself off as 65 years of age. In reality, he is 77. Detective Hoyt says that swindling women is sort of a game to Frankfurt. He believes that Frankfurt is probably somewhere else in the United States preying on other women the same way. Frankfurt, crap. Frankfurt has been known to use the alias James Ferguson, and may now be using the alias of Andrew Kearns, posing as a widower from West Palm Beach. He would have the identification papers and wedding rings to substantiate this false identity. Extra notes. This case first aired on the January 11th, 1989 episode. It was updated on the February 1st, 1989 episode. Mrs. K asked for her true identity to not be revealed. She was interviewed in silhouette. In other romance swindlers featured on the show include Louis Carlucci, Jerry Gamble, Edward Maynard, J.D. Method, Guy Cummings, and Jonathan Kern. Results captured. Within minutes of the broadcast, 2 viewers called the telecenter to report that they recognized Frankfurt. One viewer, Frankfurt's ex-brother-in-law, said he knew where Frankfurt was. Detective Hoyt, who spoke to the viewer, asked him if he had ever seen Frankfurt do magic. He said yes, and he did. Yes, he did, and Frankfurt, does it very well. This was a piece of information that had not been released to the public. 20 minutes later, they received a call from a second viewer, a white female, who said that Frankford lived next door to her in Whitley City, Kentucky. This was the confirmation call that Detective Hoyt was looking for. At the time, he knew they had their man. Soon after, a Kentucky State Trooper also called, saying he recognized Frankford as a man he had arrested for drunk driving the previous weekend. So not only is this guy a quadruple criminal, burglary, theft, all that stuff, he's also too fucking stupid to stay out of the under the radar. Ugh. I have robbed 5 nice people. I'm gonna go get drunk. And I'm gonna get arrested for drunk driving because they're never gonna find out about me. What a fucktard. 2 hours later, Frankford was arrested at his home in Kentucky. Gee whiz, how did they find me? By the McCreary County Sheriffs and Kentucky State Troopers. He was living under the assumed name James Ferguson with his 37-year-old wife. Wow. He was in his 70s, and she was, wow. 37-year-old wife of 2 months. Oh, we can see where this was going. We can see where this was definitely going. Interestingly, he had watched the show and was preparing to flee when he was arrested. God damn it! God damn it! Shit. Fuck! After his arrest, he told the sheriffs he married 40 women and never divorced any of them. I can't recall if this was actually in the video itself. Holy shit, this guy married. How is that even fucking possible? Aren't there records? Sorry, Mr. Frankford. Yes. We're calling on behalf of the marriage application. I think that's what it's called. That you supplied the state of Kentucky. Yes. It's being reported that the name Arthur Frankford with your social security number. It's being reported that it has been used 39 other times. Can you please explain this? Click. But yeah, in all seriousness, he married 40 women. It wasn't that he married these women because he loved them or anything. He married them because they were marks. During a search of Frankfurt's house, police uncovered several identification and credit cards with different aliases. They found a handgun that may have been stolen from Mrs. K's home. On the night of the broadcast, there were other calls to the telecenter from women who said they had been married to Frankfurt. They said that they had divorced him and he had left them holding the bag. Detective Hoyt hoped that any other victims of his would come forward. Ultimately, it was determined that Frankfurt's real name was Harry Fielding Donaldson. Records show he was born in 1927 in Iowa, where he did prison time in the 1940s and 50s for motor vehicle theft and forgery. Jesus fucking Christ! A criminal acting like a criminal? Who would have fucking thought? Let's see here. He is believed to have victimized women since at least the 1970s. One victim was a Sarasota socialite who said she had met him at a church function in 1979. He had moved in with her and stole her Mercedes-Benz. Another victim was a prominent Lakewood woman who was taken for everything she had. The FBI also looked into the possibility that he was involved in bank robberies. It is not known if they ever connected him to any. it. Hold on, let's see here. Auto theft, burglary, forgery, theft. I, considering that he's getting a fucking rap sheet pretty long as my arm, I wouldn't be shocked to add bank robbery to his resume of crimes, basically. See, after Donaldson's arrest, he returned to Florida. He gave back most of the money, most of the jewelry that was stolen from Mrs. K. Well, isn't that fucking nice? I know that they just typed this out because a lot of what you see here on the Wikipedia is actually transcript from the show itself. But I read this and I can't help but think that they're trying to make him sound like a little sympathetic. He gave back most of the jewelry that he had stolen from Mrs. He had no fucking choice. He stole the shit. It isn't like he's I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I had an attack. My conscience finally attacked me. I want to give this back to you because I feel so bad. No, he did not give it back because he felt bad. He gave it back because he was fucking captured. He was fucking captured. That's why he gave it back. He didn't give it back as of trying to make amends and say he was sorry. No, he was fucking handcuffed. They were like, you're giving the shit back. Let's see here. On May 2nd, 1989, he pled guilty to fraud and grand theft in her case. He agreed to pay her $500 and was sentenced to time served. Wow, only $500. What about the fucking $4,500 that jewelry was worth? Yeah, he gave back some of the jewelry, but that jewelry that's gone still has a fucking value. And time served. This motherfucker took advantage of 40 ladies. 40 fucking ladies. He should have fucking been given life. That's what he should have done. Oh, here's the kicker. Here's the kicker, ladies and gentlemen. He was later convicted of grand theft and forgery in other cases. He was sentenced to 2 years and 2 years. I've seen people who do fucking don't have their seatbelts on and they get jail time and everything. And this guy only gets 2 years. Fucking 2 years. Okay, hold on. 2 years in Florida prison. He was also sentenced to time served in federal prison as well. In January 1998, he was released. He passed away on July 24th, 1998. I don't fucking feel bad. The guy was a goddamn criminal. Why the fuck should I give a flying fuck that he died? 6 months after his sentence was completed. He was 71. Mrs. K passed away, sadly, in 1993. Okay, we don't have any find a grave links. So let's actually look up this list here. Things to look up. So okay, the first question I have is the destination. Let's just do a copy and paste. Because I'm really curious about this. What is the destination for retirees in the United States as of 2025? As of 2025, popular retirement destinations include, so Florida, particularly the cities like Naples and Sarasota. If I remember correctly, I think there was one of the victims was from Sarasota. Oh, hold on, let me zoom in. There you go. Was from Sarasota, as well as states like North Carolina, Virginia, and Idaho. I never thought Idaho would be seen as I never thought of Idaho as a retirement destination. Here are more detailed breakdown of popular retirement destinations in the U.S. as of. Okay, so we got Florida, North Carolina, Idaho, other states. Other states that are often mentioned as top retirement destinations include Maryland, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. Once again, maybe it's because I view like Wisconsin and like Idaho to be kind of like farming states. I never really viewed them uh as like you know retirement destination. That's hmm, that's new information for me. Factors including retirement include quality of life, affordable housing, healthcare, access, taxes, outdoor activities. Okay, so but we got an answer. I like that. I may start doing this where I just like type down questions and everything like this. Okay, so next, St. Mary's Church in West Palm Beach. I want to see if it's still there. Okay, so for this we're going to go to Google Maps. Sorry. West Palm Beach, Florida. Medical? No, that's Medical Center. Logan's Pharmacy, St. Mary's Medical. Okay, St. Mary's. Okay, so we have no. Oh wait, hold on. Okay, we have a couple. When it comes to St. Mary's Church, we got a couple hits, but the weird thing is, it's in. Yeah, here I'm just curious because this is like on the east coast of Florida. This is on the east coast of Florida. I would have expected to be on the west coast because they said West Palm Beach. Let's see, where is Palm Beach? Okay, I don't fucking know Florida. No, hey, don't look at me like that. I know you're looking at me. Don't look at me like that. Okay, let's see. Where is West? Let's see here. Saint Mary. Hold on, what was? Okay, let's just do it this. St. Mary's Church. Okay, hold on. Well, now we got others. Hold on. Oh no, these are just like okay. Oh, this is just not working out for me. This is not working out for me. Oh crap. Okay, there we go. Let's do St. Mary's Orthodox Church. St. Mary Church. Okay, so I want to. It used to be easy where you could just like that. They would have this up there. Okay, so St. Mary's Orthodox Church. Wish it was a little bit longer because you can't see the whole goddamn thing. Oh, it is okay. So it is West Palm Beach. I just saw this right here. Jesus Christ, Jeff. Hold on. Is it? Oh, okay. So it is here. It's weird. I thought West Palm Beach. Okay, maybe I'm thinking too literal. I'm thinking like West Coast of Florida. Okay, my bad. My bad. My bad. If you're in Florida, please don't hate me. Please don't hate me. Okay, so we do have West Palm Beach. Okay, so we have a couple of churches here. We got St. Mary Orthodox Church and Mary Immaculate Catholic Church. I'm wondering if it's this one because oh crap, there we go. I'm wondering if it's this one, even though it doesn't say it was like St. Mary's Church or whatever. This is St. Mary's Orthodox Church. Hmm. Let's take a look at some of the pictures. You have any? Okay. Okay, so we have a picture here. Oh, that actually looks pretty damn good. I don't know what that is, but it looks good. It looks like we got some rice. I still gotta have breakfast. So, I haven't had breakfast yet. I got up this morning. I got up like at 6 a.m. and I finally got out of bed at 7. And here I am. I'm doing this video and everything. But yeah, that looks fucking good. Okay. Can I close it? Okay, there you go. A lot of it's on the inside. I was hoping. Okay, here we go. Hmm. But yeah, so here it is. I'm not sure if this is the same church. So, like I said, I'm not sure if this is the same church. This is St. Mary's Orthodox Church, but there was just no like plain Jane St. Mary's Church, But anyway, so that was that, and I got my answer at least, hopefully. So we got the questions answered. Possibly, we learned what the top rated retirement destinations are in the United States as of 2025, and Florida is actually still up there. It's still up there. So I'm shocked. I'm shocked. And we possibly learned the church that Mrs. K went to when she met Arthur Frankford. Okay, so that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That was it for the case reading itself and then doing some research. Up next, when I return, it will be with my final thoughts, so stay tuned and I'll be right back.
Look at yourself, sitting there watching other people play games, while your once hard body grows softer, and another weekend goes down the tube. We say, come on, stop spectating and get in the game. We're AMF. We make what it takes to renovate the body and raise the spirit. We make quality products, Voight balls, Ben Hogan golf equipment, Harley-Davidson motorcycles. AMF. We make weekends.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is now time for my final thoughts. Overall, this case, in my opinion, is a prime example of making sure that your loved ones, especially if they're elderly, if you have an elderly, like a grandparent, and they're lonely, you got to check in on them, make sure that everything is okay. If they start, wanting companionship, you got to be in their life a little bit more. That way you can help your grandparents determine if the person they're bringing into their home is a good judge of character. Sometimes elderly people don't have that safety net, I guess you could really say, and they will let anybody in their home if they think that the person in question cares enough about them. But if they have somebody there with them to say, Grandma, I don't think this guy is a good person, it may help, your grandparents or your grandmother, your grandfather, whatever, in the long run, basically. But yeah, so thankfully Arthur Frankford was apprehended. I think it was bullshit that he committed as many crimes as he did, and he got to serve small amounts of time. It's like, really, really, the guy committed fraud, he theft, robbery, and it's like, oh, here's a slap on the wrist, slap on the wrist, slap on the wrist. That's literally what they gave the guy, slap on the wrist, while he made off with thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. Slap on the wrist, slap on the wrist, slap on the. That's what's wrong with this fucking justice system. That's what's wrong with this goddamn justice system. He should have been doing hard time in in prison for what he did, not just little amounts of time. 30 years. Well, Jeff, he'd be dead in 30. Then he's fucking dead. Then he's fucking dead. He would learn the price of committing these heinous crimes. And maybe, just maybe, if he believes in reincarnation, maybe in the next life he'd be a better fucking person. Okay, so we're just about done with everything. But with that out of the way, let's talk about what is going to be coming up next in the next installment of Black Site Files from Unsolved Mysteries. Up next, we have the review of Season 1, Episode 13 of Unsolved Mysteries, where I will give a breakdown of what was in Unsolved Mysteries. I'll give you that episode of Unsolved Mysteries. I'll give you the pros, the cons, and all that good stuff. After that, it will be the preview. Wait, did I say preview or review? I meant to say, if I said preview, I meant to say review of Season 1, Episode 13. Season 1, Episode 14 will be the preview of that episode. So we got the review of Season 1, Episode 13. The preview, I keep messing them up, I think. The preview of Season 1, Episode 14. The first case that will be covered after the review and preview of these episodes, it will be the case of Jeremy Bright. Jeremy Bright ended up disappearing when he went to go to a county fair in Myrtle Point, Oregon. As of this recording, as I'm aware of, he has never been located. And I actually have the that little promo for the case, so here it is.
14-year-old Jeremy Bright disappeared at a county fair in Oregon. Some believe he was shot by local teenagers.
Okay, so that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is it. Yeah.
1934, and Joe Jamar over there, he dreams of farming this desert. But where would he get the money to drill for water over 1,000 feet down? Where? From the money folks keep in their full-service bank. You see, America's bankers back Joe and thousands of other farmers, too. So today, food from the San Joaquin Valley reaches every table in America. Your money in the bank made it possible. America's bankers, helping you change things for the better.